Did we meet before? 1943, Paramahansa Yogananda lectures. Did we meet before? Certainly. We all slept under God's wisdom in the ether, where we were created as souls. When He woke us, we deserted Him like the prodigal son and forgot our divine kinship. Suddenly, strangers, we travel the earth alone after leaving God. Do you realize you've wandered far and for many incarnations? How many? Hard to tell. Sometimes certain experiences, places, and faces evoke a sense of familiarity from the past. Even though each soul is omniscient, its body identified, ego nature is limited to its name, family, and environment. When your soul remembers its divine origin, your consciousness will live again in Spirit's great mansion, and you will know everything in Spirit as well as your earthly home and family. All my family members were acquainted with me from past lives, and meeting them again was a wonderful experience. I also occasionally meet childhood friends. Despite their differences from my current life, they are souls I knew. Before leaving India for this country, and after arriving in Boston, I knew I would meet many old friends again. I recognize former acquaintances when I meet them again. I told some of them, "At last I found you again, because we were together before." Why the delay? I await those who will join me in God's work. I call them daily. Where are you, my former walking partner? Suddenly, I see a face in the crowd and think, someone heard my call. Still, looking at your faces, I think you heard my voice in the distant past. You came because of that voice. If not because God chose you from millions, why came you? Some souls, slightly awakened from the ignorance that cloaks past lives, will think, yes, I understand what he's saying. I heard his voice somewhere. This is familiar to me. When we met, my usually reserved guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar, was excited like never before. He knew I instantly recognized him and knew more than I did. Krishna said to his beloved disciple Arjuna, "May we have had many births." I know them all, but you don't. Recognizing Master at that first meeting was unforgettable. I've never met anyone like him. He lived God's spirit. Sri Yukteswar was strict and humble. If you were his friend, you wouldn't be shy. If you were his disciple, you'd better be able to take incisive discipline. He ignored your words. He used your ideas. I rejoiced when he cleared my mind of wrong thoughts and filled me with divine wisdom. Many couldn't handle his strictness. He was a wealth of wisdom. Truly loving God means knowing everything he knows. Master loved God deeply. Building the friendship mansion took many lives. Thus, you are a stranger exploring the world alone. Not one you think is yours. True, right? No one owns another. Each person's karmic destiny is unique, and no one can own or control another. Alternatively, you are not alone in the world. Some close relationships provide support and joy. Which souls are close to you? They may not be family members, but people you have a deep friendship with. There are ashram dwellers around me. I raised them with my values. My opinions are reflected in them. They care about me and I about them. I've invested my life in them, and our divine friendship is eternal in God. One life doesn't secure friendship. Building the friendship mansion takes many lives. You know it's souls from previous lives. That's why Jesus called his disciples one by one from the crowds. They reunited in eternal friendship, recognizing those he knew. How do you recognize old friends? Sometimes you meet a stranger and feel like you've known them forever, while others you never feel close to, no matter how much you associate with them. If you are not prejudiced or deluded by sexual attraction and find souls whose faces and personalities draw you more strongly than others, you probably knew them before. Old friends can also be identified with a simple test. You may have many friends who say you're great and agree with everything you say. For their own gain, they want you. True friends want only your presence and joy. Sometimes friends are judged by how they react to you when you provoke or disagree with them. Despite disagreements, your family will never be vengeful or abandon you. True friends from the past will love you unconditionally. They'll always be your friends. Anyone who loves you unconditionally is familiar. Be that kind of friend too. You can also identify past life friends by your attunement. As you focus on true friendship, you start to predict how someone will feel or react before they do. If you can do this after a short time, you know them. These signs help us identify old friends. Friendly to all, but don't expect friends until they pass these tests. Love and consider those who fail. But remember, they are not ready for your friendship. They shouldn't hurt your feelings. The friendship mansion needs a solid base. If you disagree with your friends and lose their friendship, they weren't your friends. Relationships are not the foundation for a friendship mansion. Most people are selfish. They want to please others for their benefit. People like this are driven by expediency. Never give up your freedom or compromise your morals for self-interest. Stick to morals, being sincere and thoughtful. Be honest and friendship will grow. Master and I talked about sincerity. I said sincerity matters. No, he replied. Sincerity and consideration matter, he continued. Imagine sitting in your home's parlor with a brand new carpet. Raining outside. A long-lost friend rushes in to greet you. I said okay, but Master hadn't made his point. He said you were glad to see each other, but wouldn't you have preferred him to take off his muddy boots before he ruined the carpet? I agreed. He was right. Whatever your opinion of someone or how close you are, good manners and thoughtfulness can sweeten your relationship. Friendship becomes wonderful and lasting. Inconsiderate familiarity harms friendship. Sincerity is important to me. Do not associate with flatterers. Such friendships will end. Spending time on them will be wasted. Stay away from flattery. While genuine praise and appreciation are good, insincere flattery poisons both parties. Anyone who prefers flattery to love is unworthy of friendship. Lovers don't flatter, and flatterers don't love. When you mix with sincere, thoughtful, and loving people, you attract old friends. You'll never find true friends otherwise. Avoid hypocrisy and insincerity and never hurt others. Never annoy or anger your friends. Never exploit your friend. Give advice only when asked and do so with sincerity and kindness, fearless of the consequences. Friends offer constructive criticism. Ability to take criticism is a great trait. I learned from my guru. Because I believe God tests us through our enemies, I have always appreciated constructive criticism and never sought revenge or been unkind to those who have unjustly criticized me. It's true. Jesus spoke with divine compassion and understanding. Such a life and example show how kind and loving God is. Great ones resemble God. Learn God's friendship. A great man doubts his greatness. Those who boast aren't. Great people are too busy being great to think about it. Everyone wants to disprove your greatness once you say so. In short, be genuine. Experience it. Never deceive others. A fake rose is never real. A real rose will lose its fragrance even when crushed. Never impersonate someone else. If you flaunt yourself, others will reject you. Avoid deceiving God. By thinking you can fool Him, you deceive yourself. He lurks in your thoughts. He will flee if you are not sincere. Only humble and true devotees receive Him. Love will reveal Him, and you will know He is in every soul. Nobody cares if that soul has a charcoal or diamond personality. God is in both equally. But the saint's diamond mentality more fully reflects God. There is no joy like earning God's friendship. Sharing joy with others is the best. A cup of milk overflows when you add more. Can't help. When friendship is divine, you love all. Loving God lets you love others. Your view of souls is clear as a mirror. The person before you will appear as he is. I met Kodak inventor George Eastman years ago. He looked steely cold. Like other wealthy men, he was known for his philanthropies and may have wondered about others' motives. He didn't understand my goal. He immediately asked, "Do you accept my invitation to my home?" I said I'd be glad if you accepted my invitation. He agreed. After seeing me cook curries in my apartment, he said, "I like to cook too." We became friendlier. I casually asked, "Mr. Eastman, do most rich men have no friends? Please meet me as a friend, not a rich man." He grinned. I understood Eastman and met him on the plane of sincere friendship. So I saw the real Eastman during our 2-hour visit. He sent me a camera the next day, which I still have. Unconditional love brings out divine friendship in friends. I found that kind of friendship in my earthly father and many others on this path. When we make true friends, the friend of all will move into that mansion of friendship. True divine friendship will lead you to love all as Christ loved all. Please pray with me. Lord, thy wisdom is noble like true friends. Thy great smile is in their laughter. Thou art looking at me in their twinkle. You speak to me in their voices. In their love, you love me. Om, Calm, Amen. Paramahansa Yogananda's Journey to Self-Realization excerpts.